Hello, and our video today is about overcoming VR motion sickness. So I will be giving some tips and pointers on how you can also overcome your own motion sickness when playing or using the VR. So these are the tips that I personally used or what I found really working for me, and also some tips that I found from others when I research on how to overcome, because when I first play VR, or first time I have uh, a VR, which is a Quest 2, I really like to play, or I really love to play continuously. But the number one issue that every beginner will encounter is the motion sickness. They can only play for a certain period and they will feel uncomfortable, or they'll become dizzy, or even worst, they want to vomit, or and they stop playing altogether. So I have some tips for you to overcome that and eventually be able to play longer hours and really enjoy using the VR. So number one, uh, make sure to hydrate yourself before using VR or before playing. So drink water, or better if you can, if you have a ginger tea and you like the taste of it, or you can drink it. Take that one, or hydrate yourself with the ginger tea, or just a water, or any other flavored drinks that you can drink that will make you feel hydrated and ready. Okay, number two, it's have an electric fan uh, with you, and put it into high setting, or and fix it towards your direction, uh, uh, and just be uh, peel the air that's flowing through you. So in that way, or in that sense, you will not be you will still be grounded into your reality, and your body will know that you are uh, just in a virtual reality, and therefore it will prevent you from getting dizzy or having a motion sickness. This is, I think, this is really effective, and because one symptoms of being having a motion sickness is you sweat already, and when you feel uncomfortable, and you will sweat. So having electric fan, a fan and a wind blowing towards you will make you feel more comfortable, or it will ground you to reality, or I mean make you sense that you are just in a virtual world, and you know that you are just playing in VR. So that's number two. Okay, number three is this is my own tip, and I recommend you to have an any scented ointment uh, within your reach. For example, there's a brand which is a Vicks, or any menthol ointment that you can smell, or just put some on your nose or your throat, uh, just to avoid getting dizzy. It helps to avoid getting dizzy when you have a scented ointment like a menthol, but where you can smell, and it helps to some people. But if you are the type of people that don't like those, and maybe you can ignore that. But for many, I think it will be helpful. Okay, number four. So this is again my own tip, and this is an important tip, which uh, I will highly recommend to do before you play VR, and that is to make sure your VR headset is adjusted properly. You you have the correct IPD setting for your eyes. If you don't know that, that's the space between your two eyes. How what's the length of it? So it should be adjusted correctly on your headset. Some people have a narrow IPD or some have wide, so make sure you got it correctly. And then adjust it. Move your headset until you find the correct clarity, or where you can read the text inside your VR clearly. And when you find the correct setting already and you can see in your VR clearly, you can read the text around you. Move your head around and try to make sure that your headset uh, will not move, or it will uh, make it unclear again. So meaning you should tighten your headset when you find the correct adjusted setting or adjusted position for your eyes. So make sure to tighten your headset. So that's number 4, and that's an important tip to make sure that you are seeing clearly within your VR headset, because that's one of the most forgotten uh, procedure that one when they play VR, they just put the headset and they just immediately play without making sure that they are seeing the graphics clearly within their eye. So make sure to adjust your headset clearly uh, before playing, and then tighten it correctly so that it will not be uh, moved. Okay. So number 5, tip number 5 is make sure to adjust your game settings. Check your game and see if it's in the correct setting. Like for example, if it has an option to use teleport uh, motion, where you move to the game by teleporting rather than free movement, where you use some kind of a joystick, which will make most player get dizzy. So adjust your settings of the game appropriately. If you can lower the graphics of the game, lower it so that there will be no choppiness. I think it's better to have some lower resolution a bit, rather than having higher resolution, but the speed of the or the ch there is a choppiness or lag in the video. It will make you surely dizzy in just a few hours or few minutes of playing. Okay, so number 6 is to start slow. Start slow by playing uh, games that are for VR beginners. Uh, those games I want to say are the games that you are just standing or just sitting and not moving around. So games like Beat Saber, or any rhythm games, or sport game like bowling or table tennis, where you are just moving one to one, and you don't use any pass movement, where you don't really move your body, but you move inside the game. Avoid that game at first if you are a beginner. So that's important to start slow and only play games that are not fast paced. So that's another tip. Number 7 is to when you start to feel uncomfortable while playing or using your VR, for some reason you start to feel something, uh, you can close your eyes, unless you need to see the one you're doing or the game you're playing. You can close one eye, and therefore you will just see a 2D image or something that will not or avoid confusing your brain or your sight. So you can either close your both eyes or one eye, or just look at the ground or something fixed inside the game. Look at something fixed, the one that doesn't move. So it will help you uh, avoid getting dizzy. So that's another tip that I can give you. Okay, number eight is when you really feel when you really feel uncomfortable or start getting dizzy, then you should immediately stop. So that's number eight. Stop when you feel dizzy. Especially when you're a beginner, don't push it, or you will just feel worse eventually, and maybe you will not be able to feel well the whole day. So just when you start to get dizzy, just immediately stop and rest, and then do the other tips that I mentioned, like one, two, three, where you drink, smell some ointment, and had an air flow through you, and then rest your eyes, sit, and when you start to feel better, you can walk around already, so that you will recover your in reality. So don't push it. When you start to feel dizzy, just stop and rest. Okay. Okay. So this next tip, number nine, is if you want to overcome motion sickness, then you must be consistent. Uh, you should always try to play. When you get dizzy, of course, you stop and just continue the next day or one day after. Just in the span of 2 days, you should play again. That is to get used to it, so that your body, your mind, your brain, your eyesight will adapt, and that's how you will really be overcoming, or you will. That's how you will overcome the motion sickness. So be consistent. You don't need to push it. When you just you will know it when until you when you can play, and when you start to feel uncomfortable or get dizzy, stop, rest, and then play the next day, so that your body will get used to it. Then lastly, number 10 is if you can or you can afford, upgrade your machine, the machine you use for playing VR. If you're using a standalone, of course, we cannot upgrade that. But if you are using a computer to connect your VR, and I highly recommend to choose the latest, or the if your hardware is not latest, then you can upgrade it, so that the idea is to avoid the choppiness or the lag of the game, so that it can play the game smoothly, and therefore uh, your you will not get dizzy. Your frames per second will be high, your refresh rate will be high, so uh, it's more natural movement rather than your your brain is trying to piece together the slow movement, and therefore will make you dizzy in the long run. So that's the number 10 tip, and that is to upgrade your machine if you can. So those are all my tips, and I hope that it can help you too, just like it helped me overcoming motion sickness. So remember to start slow. Don't play games like a roller coaster, or if you are the one who owns the VR headset and you have a friend or an acquaintance that you want them to try your VR, also make sure to let them start slow, especially if they don't have an experience yet. Just don't make fun of that, because they will have a bad experience and they won't like to play again unless they really love VR. So those are my tips, and I hope it helps you. Thank you and goodbye. By the way, for more tips or videos like this or about VR or technology, please visit my channel, and you can subscribe to if you want. Thank you.